In this final episode of Summer with Mom, we spend 3 memorable days exploring Yellowstone National Park, and Mom shares her final thoughts on campervan life.
I feel really sad that this is the end.
This is the end. It's gone by quickly.
Too fast. Well, too fast for me. I don't know about you two.
It couldn't have gone fast enough.
This video is sponsored by Storyteller Overland. Live free, explore endlessly, and tell better stories. We started our Yellowstone RV road trip driving west on Interstate 90 towards Cody, Wyoming. It was clear blue skies until we drove closer to Cody, and the air quality kept deteriorating as we made the drive to the east entrance of Yellowstone National Park. Of course, we stopped at the park sign to take our final group photo on this summer trip with Mom. Mom got to use her lifetime senior pass again, which covered the $35 vehicle entrance fee for this national park.
Welcome to Yellowstone. Cheers.
We finally made it. Cheers.
Of all the national parks and monuments we've visited on this Summer with Mom road trip, Yellowstone National Park was at the very top of Mom's list. Since Yellowstone is over 2.2 million acres, there's a lot of ground to cover and points of interest to check out, so we planned for 3 full days at the national park. Being Kate's and my 3rd time at Yellowstone, we wanted to show Mom some of our favorite highlights of the park, so we started with a stop at Lake Butte Overlook. Unfortunately, the smoke from the wildfires obscured the view that we're used to, but it still gave Mom a glimpse of what Lake Yellowstone looks like, which is the largest body of water in Yellowstone National Park.
Air quality level is very, very bad.
Yeah, it's too bad. I mean, it's hard to see into the mountains. We're going to miss a lot of the beauty of Yellowstone, and it might make it difficult to do some of the hikes and walks, but we'll see what we can.
We drove down from the Overlook to take Mom to the shoreline so she could dip her toes in Lake Yellowstone. The average elevation of Yellowstone is over 8,000 feet, which meant Mom was feeling the impact of the smoke and being at higher altitude. I told Mom we could explore at her pace and see as much of the park as she was up for. Since we started on the fishing bridge side of the park, we decided to spend our first day on the southern portion and see the highlights along Highway 20 and 191. On our way to Old Faithful, we stopped at Kepler Cascades and followed the boardwalk to the observation deck overlooking Firehouse River and the Cascades.
Oh, that's pretty.
It was a short drive to Old Faithful from the Cascades, and there was plenty of parking. We took Charlie for a short walk before Mom and I headed up to the lodge to watch Old Faithful.
Well, the bar isn't open. We're at the lodge. We're looking at Old Faithful right now. It's supposed to go off in about 20 minutes. So I ran over to the general store, picked up some Pinot Grigio for Mom, an IPA for myself. We're going to sit here and watch it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Mom has been looking forward to watching the geyser from the deck with a drink in her hand since the moment we told her it was an option. It worked out well as the smoke was getting worse, and this was a more comfortable and relaxing way to watch Old Faithful. The geyser lived up to its name as it erupted right around the predicted time.
So what'd you think?
Awesome. I mean, I'm just in awe of all of this. I'm so happy you brought me. Thank you. You can see all the movies you want and all the documentaries, but nothing is the same as in person. This, I've seen this I don't know how many times in movies and that, but then when you see it in person, it's just so different.
Well, I have to say, no matter how many cups of coffee I've had, they always move me.
Me too.
Speaking of moving, time to get back to the camper and head to our next stop.
Now we're off to the Grand Prismatic Spring. Parking here is a bit of a nightmare, but we got parked. Kate's waiting in the van, and we're going to go check out the spring.
Got it.
The Grand Prismatic Spring is the 3rd largest hot spring in the world and the largest in the U.S. The vibrant array of colors makes this one of the most photographed thermal features at Yellowstone National Park.
All right, well, if you're tired, I say we head back to, or go to the hotel, and we can come back into the park tomorrow. We have a couple full days.
Good.
And you can kind of acclimate better, and maybe we get lucky and the air clears up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm tired. This air has really bummed me out.
Okay, not a problem. We'll go at your pace.
Okay, thank you.
With plenty to see from inside the camper, we enjoyed the beautiful drive towards the west exit of Yellowstone. Mom got to see her first bison, which was one of the wildlife she wanted to see at Yellowstone. We also drove the scenic one-way road along Firehole River, which felt like we had the entire national park to ourselves. And our first day at Yellowstone couldn't have ended any better when we saw a herd of elk near the park exit. It's a good thing Mom decided to book 3 nights at a hotel in West Yellowstone, Montana, as she was able to get out of the smoke at night. We started here.
Yes.
We did all of this yesterday, this half loop. Today we're going to come in, we're going to go to Norris. That's where all that geyser walk is, and Steamboat Geyser.
Okay.
The smoke was slightly better the next morning, and Mom was feeling good and excited for day 2 at Yellowstone National Park. Since it was a cool morning with temperatures in the mid-50s, Mom bundled up before we walked over to see Gibbon Falls. The approximate drop of the falls is 84 feet, and the paved trail included several great vantage points. With Mom up for more walking, we went on the 1-mile trail to see the hot springs at Artist's Paint Pots. The start of the trail was through a pine forest before opening up to a meadow scattered with colorful hot springs. Since the upper trail was marked as steep and rough, Mom stayed on the boardwalk. Although we enjoyed the hot springs and the small geysers, the mud pots were especially interesting to read about and fun to watch.
Well, the air quality is a little bit better today. How are you feeling?
It's a lot better this morning than yesterday afternoon. I'm not burning at all.
Good.
So
Okay.
I'm glad that we're doing these walks now this morning in case it changes.
Well, let's keep going.
I'm willing.
We made it to Steamboat Geyser, one of the most well-known geysers in the Norris Basin.
So we're going to wait 4 days or 50 years?
Sure, I've got time.
I might not.
Well, the geyser didn't erupt during our visit, but maybe that was a good thing. As several rangers have warned us, when it erupts, the minerals in the spray can damage the paint on a vehicle.
Watch, as soon as we leave, an hour or two later, it's going to erupt.
Pretty much.
Kate made a salad for lunch, and Mom decided to take hers on the road for the scenic drive to the Virginia Cascades. This short one-way drive along the Gibbon River was well-timed with our afternoon coffee break.
You know, I've made some coffee from some beautiful places, but I think this might top them all so far.
Although we could have spent the rest of the afternoon at this spot, there was still a lot left to see, including the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone River. The last time Kate and I were here, we went on the brink of the Lower Falls Trail and really enjoyed the views, but given the altitude and smoke in the air, we didn't recommend it to Mom.
Well, I wish we could get you down there, but I don't think it's going to happen, Mom.
Well, getting down I don't think is the problem.
Getting back up.
That's the problem.
What goes down must come up.
Maybe we could get a hoist or something. Maybe they could bring a helicopter down and pull me up.
We decided to take the rest of the afternoon easy with a driving tour out to Hayden Valley. On the way, Mom experienced her first bear jam at Yellowstone and her first mama bear and cub sighting. After Kate and I visited the park for the first time in 2019, we immediately invested in a pair of good binoculars, and they came in very handy on this trip. Charlie didn't seem interested in the bears at all and was way more excited to welcome us back to the van. Since Kate and I have seen wolves at Hayden Valley before, we were hopeful that Mom would be able to see them as well. Unfortunately, we had no such luck this time and decided to start the long drive back out to Mom's hotel in West Yellowstone. On the drive, we spotted a lone coyote along the side of the road. It was another great way to end the day at Yellowstone National Park. After planning our route for day 3, we called it a night and got an early start the next morning to take advantage of the better air quality and get a head start on our longest day at America's first national park.
So this is our last day at Yellowstone. We're starting off at the north entrance, and we're going to see what we can get done today.
Well, this will be our 3rd day. I think we need 3 weeks. And I'm tired today. I didn't sleep well last night.
Okay.
So it's going to be a struggle, but I want to do as much as we can.
Well, don't push yourself. If you get tired, we can come back to the van. We can just do a driving tour, whatever.
On our walk to the Mammoth Hot Springs, we spotted a bull elk with huge antlers resting in the shade. Given how tired Mom was, I let her set the pace and distance for our walk around the hot springs area. The Mammoth Terraces trail is over 2 miles with a gain of over 300 feet in elevation with plenty of areas to stop and enjoy the scenery.
I don't know if you've noticed how easily I've been walking.
I have. You've been doing great.
Do you know why?
You visualized doing well.
I did. I sat, I took a few minutes, I visualized myself climbing, walking, breathing. I did it.
Congratulations, Mom.
I should have done that 2 days ago.
You should have.
Didn't even think of it. That's what happens when you're on vacation. Whoops.
Oh, you better visualize keeping your balance.
That's a little harder.
Mom managed to keep her balance and make it down all the way, safe and sound.
You're bragging on me now, aren't you?
I am. You did a great job. You made it all the way up, all the way down. High five. Jayo.
And I'm not breathing hard.
No, you're doing great. I could tell Mom was worn out from the walk, so we spent the rest of the morning enjoying the scenic drive around the upper loop of Yellowstone. Mom loved seeing the large herds of bison in this area of the park, and we even took her on the Blacktail Plateau Drive to get off the pavement for a while. This one-way gravel road is over 6 miles long and ended up being a nice detour on the way out towards Lamar Valley. Although we didn't see any bears, wolves, or moose on the drive, it was still a lot of fun to get off the main road. Plus, Mom got to experience what it's like to drive down a bumpy road in the camper van. There was a slight traffic delay as we got back on the main road, but eventually we made it past the lone bison to be greeted by more.
Look at in the baby. Oh, I wish we had a video.
Don't worry, Mom. Kate is on top of it. She was so on top of it, she even climbed onto the rooftop deck to film the bison crossing the road. I know Kate could have stayed there all afternoon watching the bison, but alas, it was time to keep moving, and a good thing we did. There was a mama grizzly and her cubs making their way up and over the hillside. We were able to catch them before they disappeared over the top of the ridge. Kate and I planned an entire trip to Yellowstone last summer to see the grizzlies and struck out, so this sighting was extra special for us. Okay, you excited to go hike? We just saw a mama grizzly with her 2 cubs right down the road.
I'm not sure this is a really good idea, but I'm game.
The Trout Lake Trail is over 1 mile long with a gain of around 150 feet in elevation. I had my bear spray for the hike and shared some bear safety tips with Mom. But of course, I had to tease her a little. Don't even think about the grizzlies.
Go there.
You can do it, Mom.
I know.
I've got you.
I know. You always do. But I have to get my breath. Told you I would make it. Come hell or high water, I said I'd make it. It was more like hell than high water, but we did it. Even younger people passed by and said they didn't think this was a very easy hike. But I thought it was very easy.
Easy or not, I'm so proud of Mom and what she's able to do when she sets her mind to it. At 76 years young and a lung cancer survivor, she never ceases to amaze me in what she's able to accomplish. You made it. You're back.
And it was so easy.
I did have to catch her one time going down the hill. She pulled off to the side and almost went ass over tea kettle.
But you saved me.
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
On our way back from Lamar Valley to see the wolves, we got caught up in a serious bison jam, complete with 2 bulls fighting in the middle of the road. At one point, we all thought they might hit the SUV parked on the side of the road. The driver was quick to reverse as the bison got closer, and I was getting ready to maneuver out of their way too. Luckily, the bison took the fight off the road where we could watch from a safe distance. I'm very glad I didn't have to call our friends at Storyteller to tell them their beast mode van was taken down by a wild beast at Yellowstone.
Well, let's see. You survived your hike. You survived a bison street brawl right in front of the van.
That was something, wasn't it? It was like they decided to put on a show for our last day.
Yes.
I've never seen anything like that in person.
And then while you stayed here, Kate and I went and saw 3 wolves. So Yellowstone, we've seen black bear mama with 2 cubs, grizzly mama with 2 cubs, 3 wolves, hundreds of bison,
Hundreds.
antelope. The only
Elk.
coyote,
Elk.
elk. We just didn't get to see any moose.
No, we didn't.
Yeah. So now for all of you watching, unfortunately with all the smoke and the fires on the West Coast, that's really changed our plans and our trajectory.
Oh, yes.
So this is really it for the trip. After this, we're going to leave Yellowstone and kind of make a beeline back for Los Angeles and get you home and hopefully out of the smoke.
You never think it's going to end, and here we are, ending.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I think Charlie's going to miss it.
Mm-hmm. Charlie loves van life.
I so love this trip. It was incredible. And you know, you asked me once, what do I like the best? And I have to say, whatever I'm doing at the moment.
Great.
Although being with you two, having this time has been wonderful for me. Seeing family and friends that I hadn't seen in so long. That was my whole purpose for it.
Yeah.
But so much else was added on. And rutting bulls fighting in front of us on the street. Wow. You couldn't have scripted that better, Jay.
No, we couldn't have. Well, actually, I slipped them each a 20 when we drove by. I said, when we come back, I want to see a fight. They performed.
They performed. They performed well.
Now, before we finish, what do you think of camper van life?
I love it.
What do you love so much about it?
The freedom. I love the freedom of being able to go wherever we want to go, park where we want to park, being able to have coffee in the middle of the day as I'm driving down the street, having Kate with all those wonderful watermelons, and we can have treats all the time, being able to crawl into the bed when I'm tired and not. I love it. I really love it. I don't love sleeping with you two all the time because I know I disturb you with my getting up and with my snoring.
Yes.
So I'm trying to be considerate, and I take hotel rooms, even though I liked it, but you two didn't disturb me. No, I really love this. I really love this camper van.
I think you're going to miss this thing.
I think I will too.
You know, a lot of people have commented that at the end of this trip, since you've enjoyed it so much, that you might go out and get one yourself.
Oh, can you imagine me and Janet on the road?
Oh, geez.
I'm going to have to go to Storyteller and see if they'll rent me one. And I'll just do a little trip myself.
Okay.
With Janet and Charlie. That would be so much fun. But don't ask me to film it.
I won't.
Oh my God, the work that Kate does. Kate works all day long.
Well, the thing is, you can barely get a picture taken, let alone video, so.
That's true. That's not true. Wait a minute. You should see the beautiful picture of the elk that I have today with the huge antlers. Better picture than Joe took. You should see the pictures I've got of the bison running across the street.
Oh, yeah, you got his whole butt and everything.
No, I got the whole herd. No, I have a really good video. Not just the picture. I'm not so bad. You know, I'm really very good at so many things. And Joe just wants to show you the areas in which I'm weak. Which aren't many.
Hey, I was trying to show you strong and powerful going up that hill today.
Oh, yeah.
You did a good job. Well, Kate, anything to add?
No.
What's she
falling
doing?
asleep.
She's like passed out in your arms.
Like a little baby hanging in there.
Yeah. Well, that's it for the Summer with Mom series. Thank you all so much for watching.
I have something to say.
Okay.
I really appreciate you watching, and thank you so much for some of the most wonderful comments that you made. Some people had some very constructive suggestions. A few people didn't quite get what we were doing, but I enjoyed everything, especially the fact that you took the time to write a comment, to watch us, and to support us. That's great.
Well, that's the end of
I'm
Summer
sad.
with Mom.
I feel like I'm going to cry. I feel really sad that this is the end.
This is the end. It's gone
happened
by
too
quickly.
Fast. Too fast. Well, too fast for me. I don't know about you two.
It couldn't have gone fast enough. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this series, thumbs up, please. If you haven't seen this from the beginning, go back to our playlists and find the Summer with Mom playlist. You can watch all the videos from the get-go. And that's it. So we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.